Good. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. For those who were able to attend live, it's lovely to see so many of you here. My name is Seth Powell. I'm the founder and director of Yogic Studies. And today is a really special and exciting day in the history of Yogic Studies. I'm sure if you're here, you've received our email, maybe a slew of emails this morning, announcing our big news, which is our merger with our sister platform, Buddhist Studies Online. Yogic Studies and BSO will now be joined to have one Maha platform, one super platform at the existing Yogic Studies site. So this is something that's been in the works for a while. We've been working really hard, our entire team, to make this merger and transition happen, and hopefully seamlessly, although I'm sure there'll be a few tech issues here or there, which we expect. You know, we started Buddhist Studies Online about 1.5 years ago. And when Dr. Kate Hartman and I first had the idea to begin Buddhist Studies Online, or I guess even before I reached out to Kate, I had debated about whether or not to actually create a separate platform or whether to just start developing Buddhist Studies curriculum right here at Yogic Studies. And for various reasons and kind of going back and forth for a while, I decided that I thought it was in the best interest of everyone to create a separate platform to really make a contribution to the field of Buddhist studies, to try to create a unique Buddhist community, and that bringing Kate Hartman on would be who's has a growing career in Buddhist studies, that she would be the ideal person to bring on to help create and to build and sustain that community. And I'm so proud of what Kate and I and the Buddhist Studies Online team have been able to do over the last 1.5 years, creating almost a dozen courses, creating a really renowned and robust online Pali language program. But it got to a certain point where we felt that in some ways we were being overtaxed by continuing to build and sustain and pouring all of our energy and resources into 2 separate platforms. And for Kate herself, she felt that as she's trying to develop her career and teach full-time and develop her scholarship and her research and writing, that it became maybe a little bit too much. We also had so much interest from students in the idea of a shared and single platform. So many of you had reached out to us saying, can we have a joint membership? Is there a way to have a single membership subscription to get access to all of the Yogic Studies and Buddhist Studies online courses? And unfortunately, until now, we just had not had a way administratively and logistically to do that across 2 different platforms, 2 different systems. So for all of these reasons and more, we felt it was in the best interest of both communities to unify and to join forces and to bring everything over. And in doing so, we're really excited and re-energized because we think it's actually just going to strengthen and add so much more value to what we're already doing sort of on both sides. For existing subscription members, whether you're subscribed monthly or annually, you should already, well, if you're an annual subscriber, you should now have a new account at Yogic Studies, and you'll find all of the courses, both Yogic Studies and Buddhist Studies courses, in one place. If you were a monthly subscriber at Buddhist Studies Online, we've just sent out instructions for how we can migrate you over. And when you're ready to do so, you'll then have that full access. If you were already a Yogic Studies membership subscriber, check out your library and you'll see lots of new Buddhist Studies goodies over there. With the merger, we took this as an opportunity to refresh the Yogic Studies website. And so you can check that out. It's already live, but I thought while I have you here, I would just do a quick little overview. Can everybody see this? Thumbs up, great. Of the new and refreshed Yogic Studies site. So in many ways, it's the same, but slightly updated, a little bit sleeker. We are right now offering a special and limited time only 14-day trial for new membership subscription users. So if you haven't subscribed before and you'd like to just test it out, you can sign up. It does ask you to put your credit card information in, just to warn you in advance. There's no way for us to not have that, but you won't be charged until the 14th day. And you can cancel on your own, anytime before that. But we hope you'll really enjoy it and that you'll maybe stay on. But with 14 days, you do have a chance to really test out our curriculum and even maybe take a course or two. As you'll see, we really have this now extensive catalog of courses in yoga studies, Hinduism, Buddhist studies, Indian philosophy, and of course, South Asian languages, now offering online courses in Sanskrit, Hindi, and Pali, all at Yogic Studies. So this is our new courses page where you can find all of the YS and BS courses. Here's what we've got on deck, our exciting courses coming up soon. With their enrollment status. So YS 121 with Stuart Sarbacker is up next, and that is now open for enrollment. These two will be coming soon. And then anything that's already aired live, so to speak, is continually available for self-study. So here now you'll see a new filtering tool where you can look through all of our courses in one place. So you can choose to select by Yogic Studies, Buddhist Studies. We have some free lectures available here. You can choose by 100 level courses, 200 level courses, by subject, by status. If it's a live course, it'll show up here as live. Currently, we don't have anything live in these categories at the moment. Stuart's course is coming up soon. And so all of these, again, are self-study or on demand, and so available, everything recorded and available for you to go through them at your own pace. And then you can also select by teacher. And if our teachers have one or more courses, that's a way to see, all of their offerings in one place. So excited about this new courses page and feature here. This is for all of our YS and BS courses. For our language courses, each of those have separate pages with their own landing pages for each of those courses and with their enrollment status. So of course, we're in the middle of a term right now for Sanskrit 101, for 201, and the enrollment for the next term will be coming up very soon. For our 300 level courses, we will be leaving enrollment open for those, by the way. You can sign up anytime and continue to access those as self-study. Any new or upcoming courses you'll find right here. Likewise, Hindi and Pali. Our Pali courses for now, we are going to continue hosting on the BSO site. So for anybody who's taking Pali, not to worry, nothing is going to change at all for right now for you. Once the 101 term ends on August 12th, after everyone's taken their finals, received certificates, we will then transition that program over to Yogic Studies, and beginning with Pali 102 and on to 103, those will be then hosted on the YS platform. But Pali 101 continues at BSO, and likewise, the current live course at BSO, 108, Buddhism and Compassion, which is currently being taught by Stephen Jenkins, that will also continue at BSO until the end of that course, I think July 22nd. And so if you are taking that course and you're a subscribed member, hold on, carry on till the end of that course before you hop over to your new membership at Yogic Studies. The 108 course at Buddhist Studies Online will not be available yet at Yogic Studies until that course finishes its live iteration at BSO, after which time we'll migrate it and it'll be available for self-study here. So one thing that I'm really excited about with this merger, and you've seen already as we've grown over the years from being, from curriculum and courses that are strictly from the sort of classical yoga texts and traditions to starting to move to a broader curriculum of South Asian religions, philosophies, and traditions. And so with this merger, it really allows us to expand our offerings beyond being completely, yoga centric. Of course, Buddhism has a rich history and engagement with yoga, all the way back to the origins of yoga, which really, comes out of these ascetic, renunciate, or shramana traditions, which would have included Buddhism, Jainism, and early forms of Brahminical Hinduism. Yoga as a disciplined practice for attaining, self-awareness or enlightenment, disciplining one's mind and body in the emancipatory ways, comes out of the conversations with these Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain traditions. And so it also makes a lot of sense in that way for us to continue to offer courses across these great traditions of India and beyond, as of course Buddhism spread far and wide beyond India, and of course so did yoga, and so has yoga. So in some ways, our platform is now kind of moving towards this broader religious studies or South Asian studies model, where you can really take courses, across these great traditions. And one thing with that we will be announcing soon is that we will be offering new advanced certificate programs that really will allow you to, carve out or tailor your course of study depending on your particular research interests. So as of right now, we have the Yogic Studies ACP. We'll actually be launching the first graduate seminar very soon for students who have the requisite credits and are ready to enter into the graduate seminar, where they'll be able to carry out their own research projects with me beginning in September. But very soon, probably in the next month, we will be announcing 2 more certificate programs: a Sanskrit Studies Advanced Certificate Program, which will be directed by our own Dr. Antonia Rupel, where students will move through 3 full years of Sanskrit curriculum, 100, 200, and 300 level courses, and which will culminate in a graduate seminar with Antonia, where students will get to carry out a Sanskrit research project, probably a translation project of your choosing. And then we'll also be offering and introducing a 3rd certificate program, which, you guessed it, will be a Buddhist Studies Advanced Certificate Program, where you will be able to move through our Buddhist Studies curriculum. There'll be core requirements, there will be electives, very similar to the YSACP, and that will then culminate in a graduate seminar that will be hosted by Dr. Kate Hartman. So we're really excited that Kate will stay on in this capacity. She'll direct the Buddhist Studies ACP and guide independent research projects and continue to work with students in that way. And I should also mention, Kate is going to continue to host the Buddhist Studies podcast, which we're really excited for. And so we'll continue to invite on scholars and faculty for our Buddhist Studies courses to to interview scholars, preview the course, learn about their research and their stories through that podcast. So very soon here, we will have our 3 podcasts. We've got 3 languages currently, potentially more in the future. And we'll have 3 different advanced certificate program tracks for those who want to structure their learning in that way and build towards doing some sort of independent research project. Of course, none of that is necessary, and you can simply just enjoy courses, to your own liking and study whatever you like at your own pace entirely. So I think that's it for this. I'm going to stop my screen share. You can kind of check out the site on your own. And let me open it up for questions. I see we've got people from all over who are here. Thanks for popping into the chat. Folks from Boulder, Colorado, Cape Cod, Delaware, Bridgeport on the south coast of England, Boston, MA, San Diego, Pennsylvania, Western Washington State, Berkeley, Arizona. I'm coming in from Northern California. Feel free to raise a digital hand, pop a question into the chat as you wish. If you raise a digital hand, I'll invite you to unmute your mic and you can just go ahead and ask a question. So Michael, how are we doing?
Very good. I think this is a wonderful movement on your part. I had wondered about that myself, because I couldn't afford to do both, right? Even though I would have liked to. The question I have is, I am in the Buddhist studies program, what have you, and so does this mean I should not go to the new site until I've finished the 1 or 2 courses that I have that are not complete in the Buddhist studies online program?
So thanks for asking that, Michael, and nice to meet you. We agree. We think this is a really strong move for the community and hope it adds a lot of value for folks on both sides. So the answer to your question sort of depends on how you're set up currently on the BSO side. If you've purchased or registered for a course individually, then you should have received an email or 2 from us this morning from the Yogic Studies side with a new account with temporary password and login instructions. And if you go into that, you can change your password to your liking, and you can go into the library and your courses should already be there on the Yogic Studies side. That's if you've registered for courses individually. So this gets a little tricky. So if you have a membership subscription, if it's an annual membership, you paid $800 for a full year, then that too, you should find already on the YS side with an account, and all the products, all the courses are already there. But if you, Michael, maybe this is you have a monthly member, $75 a month, yeah? Then you do have an account already set up on Yogic Studies, but it doesn't have the membership yet because you will have to manually resubscribe on the Yogic Studies side. So we just sent out an email right before this session that has instructions for you to guide you through that. But basically, when you're ready, you'll want to cancel your BSO subscription and then sign up for a new one at Yogic Studies. Same price, $75 a month, but now you get so much more with that. But you want to decide when the right time is for you to do that. So if you're taking 108 right now with Steve Jenkins, you'll want to continue your subscription until the end of that course on the BSO side, right? Because that is not yet accessible on the YS side. We didn't want to move that in the middle of the course. Wouldn't have been fair to the students, definitely wouldn't have been fair to Steve technologically. So does that make sense, Michael? So depending on where you're at and how you're set up there. So if you're subscribed monthly, we'd probably recommend holding off till the end of 108, or you could sign up on the YS side. We just don't want you to be double paying, right? We don't want you to double book. Now, one thing we've done to mitigate that is we're offering a 14-day free trial for anybody, not just for BSO members. It's for anyone to kind of onboard. And so it's going to depend, Michael, when your monthly subscription charges you. So like, what day of the month you began it. And try to use the 2-week subscription so that you don't end up double paying, but also don't come over yet if you're taking 108 to make sure you can finish that great course.
I have a couple. See, I've been involved in so many of your Sanskrit courses. That's where most of my energy are. But I have kind of started and did a little bit of a couple of the earlier Buddhist courses. But I had to put my energy into very consuming Sanskrit courses, plus having life. So I have these courses that I started that they're not the current one. Should I wait and try to finish them and then?
Yeah, so that part of the question is, if you're on the Buddhist studies side and you have courses in progress, say BSO 101 or 201, that progress will not be saved right over onto the YS side. You'll have the course on the YS side, but whatever progress you've made on the BSO side, there's just no way for us to transfer that over. So especially if you've done quizzes, so if you're 2 or 3 modules in and you've already done those quizzes and you don't want to have to retake those quizzes, you can still sign up on the YS side, right? Again, if you wanted to say immediately have access to all the YS content, but I would recommend finishing those Buddhist studies courses on the BSO side, requesting a certificate if you'd like, and you'll have access to all the BSO material. Let me just make this really clear. You'll still have access. We're going to leave all that up as is until the end of August. So August 31st is our plan to kind of start closing things down there. So I'd recommend, if you have courses in progress at BSO, try to wrap those up by the end of August. Does that make sense? Awesome. And Michael, there's a lot of people, I think, in your boat too, who've been doing Sanskrit with us, and then BSO launched, and hey, my interest is actually more in the Buddhist traditions. And so these courses, speak to me more. I still want to do Sanskrit because I want to read Sanskrit Buddhist text like the Bodhicharyavatara. And so I think some of folks like you felt really split then across these platforms. And so I hope that with this merger, it'll eventually simplify things by having it all in one place. I think there might be a bit of some growing pains here for all of us in the beginning. Okay, I see Julian has a question, and then Kimberly had a question in the chat. Julian, let me go to you first, and then I'll answer Kimberly.
Yeah, I have a question about the membership. The reason I've never signed up for membership is because it didn't indicate that you would have access to that material if you were no longer a member. Whereas if you buy a course, my understanding is that forever you'll have the material to go back to. Is that a correct understanding?
Yeah, exactly. That's really the main difference. If you register for a course individually, you have lifetime access to that, which is to say, as long as the platform exists, which in the case of Buddhist Studies Online, well, it's still going to exist, of course, but over at YS, right? So those who did purchase individually at BSO, we will guarantee you have continued access. And by the way, if for some reason you're not seeing those courses in your new YS account, please let us know. We'll make sure we get that squared away. But yes, if you are a subscribing member through the free trial, through monthly or annual, you have immediate access to the entire catalog. Remember, though, that's not including the language courses, right? So this is for any course with the course number YS or BS in front of it. Although it does include my SKT 100A and 100B, which is the Devanagari seminar, kind of learning the script boot camp, and then a Sanskrit for yogis kind of primer Sanskrit course, which I really recommend actually as good prep work for Antonia's elementary Sanskrit. So those two courses are included in the membership, but otherwise no languages, those are separate. Back to your question, Julian. If you're a subscribed member, it's more like a streaming Netflix model. So you have access to everything so long as you are a paid subscriber. But if you stop your membership, then of course you no longer have access, right? We have to do it that way. I mean, otherwise people would just try to pay for 1 or 2 months and then stop and then, have lifetime access to everything. That just wouldn't make sense as a business, sustainable business model. So it's a tough thing to kind of weigh out for you, for a lot of our students, because some of our students have been with us for a really long time and they've been signing up for courses individually. And because they want to have that lifetime access, regardless of whether you're paying monthly, right? If you want to know that you can kind of continue to come back to those materials again and again, it might make sense to register for that course, individually. But with the membership, just know that, we do have a 2-month minimum, right? So we want folks to commit to at least 2 months. But after that, you can cancel or pause at any time, and then you could re-sign up at any time in the future. So say you decided you wanted to stop for a while and take a break because something happened in your life or a new job or you're traveling or whatever, just cancel. And then if you decide, hey, I want to have access to that course again, then you could resume at that time, so that's an option to consider. But does that make sense, the difference there?
Yes, I understand. Now, I have a whole, different question, but maybe you want to go to Kimberly before I.
No, why don't you go for it, Julian, while I have you here, and then I'll go to Kimberly. And if anybody else if you have questions kind of coming up, feel free to write them in the chat or raise your digital yellow Simpsons hand.
Yeah, that'll be good, because Polly starts in 1 minute. So, but I'm, the languages, like you said, are South Asian languages, and I'm interested in eventually. I mean, I'm taking second year Sanskrit and first year Pali, so I'm pretty consumed with that. But I'd like to take classical Chinese or find a platform to do that. To be perfectly frank, really the Buddhist Online platform has really most of it has been zeroed in on Tibetan. And I've been asking, for a year and a half for something about, Chinese Buddhism, and I'm not complaining. I know that people are doing the best they can. I'm not saying that, but I just wonder if that's gonna, if you'll still look. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody besides me who wants to take classic Chinese.
No, there definitely is.
And
there definitely is, Julian. We've had that request several times, and it's on our radar for sure. We do feel like we have our hands pretty full right now with the 3 languages, and we want to really just kind of get those really smoothly humming along before we would be ready to add more. But I can definitely see a world in which the future where we're having courses in classical Chinese. How great would that be? And also, the scheduling, we're going to continue to develop Buddhist studies courses on the Yogic Studies platform. So recommendations, suggestions are always welcome. Our inbox is always open for that kind of thoughts. And it has been a slightly Tibetan focus, but not necessarily by choice, but rather matter of scheduling with faculty. It can be really tough to just get faculty to have the time and place. And we've had a few courses, unfortunately, that got canceled and we had to push back. But I can tell you, we have a course coming up very soon on Japanese Buddhism. So not quite Chinese, but East Asian Buddhism, specifically in Japan. And then there is a course on Zen Buddhism that will be coming up as well. And there'll be a strong focus on China in that course.
Yeah,
for sure.
I didn't think they were being sectarian. I thought, and I also just think maybe that's where Buddhist scholarship is kind of right now. It seems like lots of the attention of scholars is on the Tibetan Buddhism, but anyway, I appreciate that, and I'm not ready for the Chinese yet either. But I guess I just
okay, good.
Putting my 2 cents in that I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think
the next year or two, maybe.
You've got your hands full as well with Sanskrit and Pali, so and continue to that. And it sounds like you've got to get to Pali class probably now as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Kimberly asks, I'm a monthly YS subscriber. Will BS courses count towards the YS Advanced Certificate Program? That's a great question. And I was thinking about that just this morning, actually, Kimberly. At the moment, no, but it's possible in the very near future. Like for this particular seminar that we're about to run, I have to just keep the curriculum as it is. I don't want to make any changes to it. It really wouldn't be fair. But moving forward, if there's strong interest in that, it's possible that one of the elective courses, I might say, could be from the BS side, because certainly on the for the BS Advanced Certificate Program, let me share my screen again. We do have, as you probably know, there are some YS courses, and I think Julian or somebody alluded to this. There are courses on the YS side that are really explicitly Buddhist courses or Buddhist content. I mean, especially Ian Baker's Tibetan Yoga, and then also Karen O'Brien Kopp's course looking at Patanjala Yoga, Brahminical Hinduism, really, and Buddhism, and the shared parallels in those texts and traditions. So these YS courses, and possibly this one as well, Karma, Rebirth, and Liberation, which really looks across Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain sources, I think these will certainly count for the BS Advanced Certificate Program. So I think, it could be possible that maybe one BS course could count as an elective on the YS side. Who knows? I might even require that, actually, because we want to encourage this sort of interdisciplinary and trans-sectarian, looking across traditions approach. Of course, within the YS courses themselves, though, there really already is that, right? There's material and courses from across really all of the Indic religions, or if we haven't represented one yet, I can't say all of the religions and traditions, but a growing number of traditions, which we'll continue to add to, including hopefully a course on Jainism and yoga in the future. So I hope, okay, Kimberly says that does answer her question. So thank you for that. I don't see any other questions in the chat or any other hands raised. But any other comments, questions, thoughts at all about the merger, about our curriculum, about your account? Let us know again in the inbox, info@yogicstudies.com, if you're having any challenges accessing your new account or any of the courses that you think should be there. I might say a quick word about some of our team members who are here. Kate Burns, who many of you know from the YS side, from the inbox. Kate is our administrator and has been working very hard these last few weeks to help us with this merger and have everything go smoothly. And Catherine Bennett, who you see here, who until now has been the administrative assistant at Buddhist Studies Online. Catherine, we've invited to stay on at Yogic Studies, and she's the new course manager at Yogic Studies. So if you look at our website, there's a new YS team page, and you can see our growing team and our staff that really works hard every day behind all the day-to-day operations. So big thanks to you both, Kate and Catherine, for helping with this merger. I think every single day there was sort of a new issue or problem that we realized was there, and sort of new solutions. So hopefully everything seems to be going pretty smoothly, surprisingly, but we'll see. Did either of you want to say anything at all? Kate, maybe a quick hello.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm really excited for what this is going to mean for the students, and I think Catherine would echo me in saying that building out the BS courses on the YS platform created this opportunity to really take a look at all the curriculum that's available there. And I'm excited for myself, but also for everybody else, that it's all going to be housed in one space, and looking forward to exploring those courses a little bit more in depth, and happy to walk people through and help them choose courses that might interest them and explore what's available.
And Catherine, welcome to Yogic Studies. We've been appreciating your great work for the Buddhist Studies online side, but excited to have you continue with us at Yogic Studies. Welcome. How's the last couple weeks been for you?
Thanks, Seth. It's been really fun working with Kate and Seth a little bit more closely. And yeah, I'm just really excited for this merger. I'll be a bit more on the back end on the YS side than I was on the BSO side, but I'm really excited for all the courses that students are going to have the opportunity to take now.
Yeah, thank you. Great. All right, you guys, I think we might leave it there for now. Keep this short and sweet. Thank you so much, for those of you who were able to take some time out of your day today to join us live. If you're watching the recording, thank you as well. And our inboxes are open. If you're a student at YS or BSO, the online community forums are also open. So feel free to, if further questions or anything arises for you, feel free to reach out. We love to hear from you guys. And yeah, we're very excited about the future. Again, we think that this is going to really add a lot of depth and breadth, to what we've already been building at Yogic Studies. And for our BSO students, welcome. We're really excited to welcome you to Yogic Studies and to share this learning platform and community with you all. So thanks so much, everyone. Please take care, and hope to see you inside a Yogic Studies course soon.